Spanish conjugation looks scary when you see a giant verb table, but what if the problem is not conjugation itself? What if the problem is the way it is usually explained? Hi, I'm Andrés. Welcome to Clear Spanish Grammar, where Spanish grammar becomes simple and clear for beginners. In today's lesson, I'll explain Spanish conjugation in the present tense without starting with a huge chart. We will use only 3 regular verbs: hablar, comer, and vivir. Conjugation simply means changing a verb to match the person. In English, the verb changes a little. We say I speak, but she speaks. In Spanish, the verb changes more, but it follows a pattern. Most regular Spanish verbs end in r, er, or er. For example, hablar means to speak, comer means to eat, and vivir means to live. The first step is simple. Remove the ending. From hablar, remove r and keep habl. From comer, remove and keep com. From vivir, remove r and keep viv. That first part is called the stem. After that, you add a new ending depending on who is doing the action. Let's start with hablar. Yo hablo means I speak. Tú hablas means you speak. Él habla means he speaks. Ella habla means she speaks. Nosotros hablamos means we speak. Ellos hablan means they speak. Notice the pattern for regular AR verbs: o, as, a, amos, and an. Now look at comer. Yo como means I eat. Tú comes means you eat. Él come means he eats. Nosotros comemos means we eat. Ellos comen means they eat. The pattern for regular ER verbs is o, es, hemos, and en. Now look at vivir. Yo vivo means I live. Tú vives means you live. Él vive means he lives. Nosotros vivimos means we live. Ellos viven means they live. The pattern for regular IR verbs is very similar to ER verbs. The main difference is with nosotros. Comemos, but vivimos. Now let's make Spanish conjugation feel easier. The first shortcut is this. For yo, regular present tense verbs usually end in o. Yo hablo means I speak. Yo como means I eat. Yo vivo means I live. If you remember only one pattern today, remember this. Yo often ends in o. The second shortcut is that tú often ends in s. Tú hablas means you speak. Tú comes means you eat. Tú vives means you live. The third shortcut is that él and ella use a shorter ending. Él habla, ella come, and él vive. This is important because Spanish verbs carry information inside the ending. In English, you usually need the subject, but in Spanish, the verb ending can tell us who is doing the action. If you say, hablo español, Spanish speakers understand I speak Spanish because hablo points to yo. If you say, hablas español, the ending points to tú. A common beginner mistake is using the infinitive all the time. For example, yo hablar español is incorrect. The correct sentence is yo hablo español. Another mistake is ella comer pizza. The correct sentence is ella come pizza. Another mistake is nosotros vivir en Canadá. The correct sentence is nosotros vivimos en Canadá. The pattern is simple. Remove the ending, keep the stem, and add the new ending. Hablar becomes yo hablo. Comer becomes ella come. Vivir becomes nosotros vivimos. Of course, Spanish also has irregular verbs, but do not start by worrying about every exception. Start with the regular pattern first. Once your brain understands the system, irregular verbs will be easier to recognize later. So remember this simple rule: Spanish conjugation is not random. The ending changes because the person changes. Before you leave, answer these 3 questions in the comments. Question 1. How would you say I speak Spanish using the verb hablar? Question 2. How would you say she eats pizza using the verb comer? Question 3. How would you say we live in Canada using the verb vivir? Write your answers in the comments. If Spanish grammar feels confusing, Subscribe to Clear Spanish Grammar for simple whiteboard lessons that make Spanish finally make sense. See you in the next lesson.